Adam, the taskmaster from the game, suddenly appeared inside a subway train. He immediately took control of the braking system and stopped the train on a large bridge. Just as Adam was about to announce the game rules, Brody mistakenly thought that someone had used a holographic projection, causing the train to halt, and he started shouting angrily, threatening to have the person arrested. At that moment, Adam's eyes glowed red, and a laser beam shot out, striking Brody in the forehead. Brody's shouts ceased instantly, and he collapsed to the ground. After seeing this, everyone else fell silent. Then, Adam announced the rules. To punish the greedy and hypocritical people of Earth, from now on, each person in the subway car must kill at least one living being within the car in 10 minutes. Those who succeed would receive 300 game coins, while failures would face death. After explaining, Adam vanished from the car. As the countdown began, panic erupted in the car, and everyone started thinking about how to complete their mission. However, Lucas felt unusual. He wasn't panicked at all. Instead, he felt a thrill of excitement. When Adam announced the rules, he realized this game was exactly like one he had played before. That meant he not only knew how to beat the entire game but also how to maximize his survival chances. Soon, Leo launched a surprise attack, savagely beating an elderly man nearby. Someone saw this and tried to flee the car, but found it sealed off by an invisible barrier. At that moment, Lucas noticed that Carter, the game's protagonist, had appeared in the next car. Lucas understood that the real world had merged with the game, and he had to find a way to help everyone survive together. Suddenly, a monster leaped from the water, smashing the subway's glass with its tail, nearly overturning the train. Lucas knew he had to complete his mission quickly, or he would die. Then, he saw Jack carrying a box with an ant colony inside. An idea struck him. He realized a way to fulfill the mission. The rules didn't specify killing humans. Any living being would do. So, he grabbed a handful of ants and placed them in his friend Kaylee's palm. Lucas signaled to her to stay calm, assuring her that he would handle the chaos in the car. Then, Lucas squashed an ant in the chaotic subway car. The system alert immediately sounded, announcing that the first person in the car had completed the mission. Everyone in the fight stopped and frantically demanded to know how he did it. Lucas explained that killing ants also counted toward completing the mission, but there weren't enough ants for everyone. Human greed erupted instantly in the car. They all wanted to get their hands on an ant to finish the task. Levi, Lucas's boss, even tried to take control of distributing the ants. In the chaos, the ant colony was snatched by others, leaving Lucas with only 2 ants left. He planned to give them to Leo so that he and the elderly man could both survive, but Leo flat out refused. He had always longed for a chance to kill freely, and now that the opportunity had finally come, he wasn't about to let it slip away. Then, Leo targeted Lucas, having discovered that he received an unexpected game reward after being the first to attack someone earlier. In a critical moment, Lucas used 300 game coins to enhance his muscle power and fight back. The moment his game coins were depleted, Lucas's strength multiplied, and he sent Leo flying with a single punch. However, Leo's game reward was the support of a constellation's Scorpio, one of the 12 zodiacs in space, had bestowed immense power upon him, just as Lucas was too exhausted to resist any longer. A test tube filled with ant eggs rolled in front of him. Without hesitation, Lucas destroyed all the ant eggs, and instantly, his game coins skyrocketed to 40,200. He immediately spent 3,000 coins to further enhance his muscle power and another 3,000 to boost his reaction speed. Lucas was now completely transformed. His opponent Leo was no longer a threat, and Leo's punches seemed extremely slow in his eyes. When the countdown ended, those who failed the mission faced death, including Leo. Then, Adam reappeared in the car and announced that 17 humans had passed the first round. He required the survivors to choose support from one of the 12 zodiac constellations. But Lucas knew that accepting a constellation's aid would come at a great cost later on, so he directly refused. However, many unaware people chose support from various constellations. At that moment, the giant monster in the river coiled around the subway car, attempting to drag the entire train into the river. Lucas urgently alerted the muscular Miles to use his skill. Miles immediately spent game coins to unlock the first level of Summit Thrust, a technique that unleashed explosive power. Within moments, Miles pried the subway doors open with his bare hands, but instead of fleeing immediately, Lucas approached Jack. He had used Jack's ants to save so many people in the car, he wouldn't abandon Jack now. During their escape, a new side mission activated, crossed the entire bridge and reached the opposite side. Just when they thought this task would be straightforward, the monster resurfaced, violently smashing through the bridge and making the mission drastically more difficult. To their further despair, the humans who failed the previous round were now controlled by the game system, transformed into zombie-like beings that swarmed the survivors. Then, Kaylee activated her acquired skill, weaving sticky webs across the destroyed section to create a temporary bridge. Lucas knew the entire city would soon be filled with toxic gas. Their only hope was to reach a basement shelter quickly. He decided to head for the nearest subway station. As long as he avoided Carter's protagonist path, he could stay alive for now. But Lucas also knew that in 2 days, Carter would confront the ultimate boss, the Fire Dragon, and meet his end in that battle. Although Carter could restart time through his regression ability, the entire world would collapse without the protagonist. To ensure humanity's survival, Lucas had to convince Carter to cooperate and clear the game together. However, Carter, who possessed strength far beyond ordinary humans, effortlessly repelled dozens of infected beings with a single strike. With such power, he saw no need to cooperate with Lucas. Even when Lucas bluntly warned him about his impending death by the Fire Dragon, Carter refused. Instead, in a shocking turn, he threw Lucas Lucas into the beast's belly, stating that if Lucas could survive this, he might reconsider fighting alongside him. Inside the creature, Lucas triggered a hidden mission, kill the beast and escape. Just as he pondered how to achieve this, Adam suddenly appeared. Lucas immediately addressed Adam by name and pointed out that his assigned sector must be drawing significant attention, with the 12 constellations closely monitoring its developments, watching to see how he outperforms other taskmasters. Hearing this, Adam promptly shut down the live broadcast for this area to speak with Lucas privately. Lucas proposed signing an exclusive contract. As a human who could foresee the entire game's challenges, the entertainment value he could provide would be immense, guaranteeing Adam massive rewards. Tempted by the sharply rising revenue metrics, Adam agreed without hesitation to a 50-50 split. As the monster began secreting corrosive gastric fluids, Lucas ordered Adam to activate its unique Ghastly Inventory, a shop that sold all kinds of weapons and abilities. Lucas then purchased hundreds of long, stone spikes and frantically jammed them into the glandular openings inside the creature's stomach. This was an ultimate test of endurance. The moment the final spike was driven home, the system alert suddenly rang out, notifying him of his completed mission. Lucas successfully received a 9,000 coin reward and retrieved the monster's heart. He then handed the heart to Adam, intending to trade it for the Crest of Survival, a crucial item for later stages in the monster shop. However, the Crest of Survival was incredibly rare and would be far from easy to obtain. Exhausted, Lucas entered a supermarket to grab some food before continuing with the next challenge, but he unexpectedly discovered the injured Lily there. Just as he tried to rouse the unconscious Lily, a giant mantis suddenly appeared outside the supermarket and immediately attacked them. Lucas quickly carried Lily on his back and fled, desperately evading the enormous mantis chasing them. He soon reached a subway station, and managed to slam the station doors shut just as the giant mantis caught up. Inside, Lucas brought Lily to a gathering place for other survivors, where he was reunited with Kaylee, Miles, and Jack, from whom he had been separated earlier. According to Kaylee, they had managed to stay alive this long largely due to the presence of Congressman Grayson at this station. However, Grayson had established a rule: higher-level individuals were responsible for venturing out to hunt, and the resources they gathered were then distributed among those unable to fight. Yet, according to the game's original plot, this area should have been maintained by Carter. His absence indicated that the game's storyline was already deviating. Meanwhile, the station's hidden rules began to surface. Grayson had ordered that all survivors be informed. Until all monsters were eliminated, each person must pay a daily survival tax of 100 game coins. Those lacking coins had to risk hunting, and anyone failing to pay would be expelled. Soon, rumors spread that Lucas possessed a large amount of coins, and demands arose for him to share them with everyone. It was then that Grayson suddenly stepped forward, and admitted that he was the one who had leaked this information to the survivors. However, Lucas had no intention of sharing his coins simply because he had more. This stance immediately drew loud condemnation from the other survivors. Nor would he hand over his coins to Grayson, because he was determined to kill all the monsters and complete the mission himself. Moreover, Lucas had already seen through Grayson's hypocrisy. The man merely pretended to be virtuous in front of the crowd, while in reality, he had secretly pledged allegiance to Taurus, one of the 12 constellations, his greedy nature becoming increasingly apparent. To gain even more power from Taurus, he had sold his soul, transforming into a monstrous humanoid creature. Sophia among the survivors confirmed this. Under the guise of the reconnaissance team, Grayson collected game coins and often eliminated other survivors to steal their spoils. Sophia herself had suffered such betrayal and nearly died by his hand. The group pressed forward, searching for monsters, but the path ahead grew darker, making it impossible to see clearly. Fortunately, Jack possessed the ability to communicate with animals. With his help, countless fireflies illuminated the tunnel, lighting their way. When they reached the monster territory, Lucas immediately warned everyone to enhance their muscle strength and agility. No sooner had he spoken than dozens of creatures lunged at them. In the chaos, Kaylee was dragged away by one of the monsters. Pursuing her into a peculiar zone, they found Kaylee bound ahead. To save her, they had to defeat the creature before them. This monster could conjure phantom prisons, trapping victims in their most painful memories until death. Sophia's consciousness was instantly plunged into the nightmare of her teammates' murders. Just as her psyche was on the verge of shattering, Lucas used his skill to jolt her awake. The monster then summoned hordes of minions, attempting to overwhelm them. But Lucas knew the game's mechanics well. To defeat this foe, they needed a specific magic item costing 50,000 game coins. He was just 1,000 coins short. So, he fought fiercely, eliminating creatures until he amassed the required amount. After purchasing the magic artifact Diamond-Tipped Spear, Lucas unleashed its deadly strike. The monster crumbled under the blow, and all its minions dissolved into nothingness. For defeating this boss-level creature, each of them received generous rewards, including skill-enhanced weapons and items. Lucas obtained a broken sword. If fused with the Crest of Survival, it could unleash astonishing power. However, upon returning to the subway station, Grayson demanded they hand over all their hard-earned rewards. Sophia, who had long sought vengeance for her fallen comrades, would never agree to this. She activated her skill Angel's Judgment, launching an assault against Grayson and his followers. Yet, in a shocking turn, Grayson mutated, one of his arms transforming into a monstrous claw. With overwhelming force, he sent Sophia flying.